Stop wasting money on the wrong Google Ads keywords. Today, I'll walk you step by step through my exact keyword research process to find profitable terms that actually convert. Let's hop into an ad account. Go over to Tools, Planning, Keyword Planner, and I'm going to go over to Discover New Keywords and start inputting the keywords that you believe your users will be searching for. Now, I've already got one here prepared, and I'm going after commercial pole buildings and get result. Now, the first step to all of this is get into your consumer's mindset, get into the user that is looking for this product or service, and start to ask yourself, what would they search for if they were looking for my product and service? Now I'm looking here and I'm seeing commercial pole building. I'm seeing commercial pole barn with office space, pole barn, commercial building. All of these are really, really solid. I like them a lot. But the problem is when we look at the average monthly searches, it's only at 90. So there's not a whole lot. So we're going to have to figure out a way to expand this. Now, there's two ways to expand this. So I'm going to add this first to the keyword planner. You can use broad match and use these higher intent keywords and ultimately allow for Google's algorithm to go after more keywords that are similar to this. Now, I would use, if you're going to use broad match, I would use the bidding strategy of maximize conversions to start out with. Now, you're going to also want to make sure that your conversion tracking is solid and in place and firing. And you're going to need to wait quite a bit of time in order to start seeing results leveraging that type of bidding strategy. I'm personally not going to do broad match and maximize conversions on this account because we've only got $1,000 budget for this. And so I really want to go very far and make sure that it's as high intent as possible. So I'm going to go on over to Google. I'm going to bring in this keyword and I'm going to type this into Google and see what else comes up. So there's some good stuff here in regards to like locations. And so I'm going to bring in this location. All right, so we can see that's another 10 searches, but this is great. And we can also do pole building near me. And we can also pole building price. So these are very high intent, solid keywords. Now, when you're within this Google Ads Keyword Planner, you can look at all of these keywords. Look, we've already been able to move up to about 20,000 searches. Now, here's the thing. When you open up Google Ads Keyword Planner, you're not really going to see this option unless you click on Refine Keywords. You start filtering through the keywords that you want to use. So I'm going to take out other brands. I'm going to take out contractor. I'm going to take out non-brands, and I'm going to see kind of what we're left with here, which is still only about 2,000. I'm going to bring back non-brands and just see what that's about and just kind of start looking through this list. Now, pole barn cost estimator. So again, this is kind of a situation where I don't think that this is really going to be the most high intent keyword for this business. And so, yeah, it's more informational, trying to figure out how to price out a barn. And so I don't really want to go after this. So the other kind of cool tricks that you can do within the Google search is you can add in an asterisk and you can bring in this and you can start seeing what can go in before. If you place your cursor before the search, you'll start to see what happens before. So I'm seeing Menards pole barn kits. That's your competitor, I believe. How to build a pole barn, 40 by 60 pole barn, 30 by 40. And so there's a lot of really good things here. Now I'm going to search metal pole barn and I can see that, yeah, this would work. The second kind of critical question that you have to ask when we're doing this search is, would my ad fit within this particular search? If it would be out of place, then it's probably not the right keyword. Now, I know that this sounds foundational and simple, but the thing is, most people skip these foundational steps. And then they wonder why they're getting poor quality leads. And so these are essential things to think about. I'm going to bring this back in, metal pole barn. I'm going to go to get results. Looks like we added in a couple more. Yep, metal pole barn. And there's some really good stuff here. Okay, so whole barn cost estimator. I'm going to want to add that to a negative keyword list. So I'm going to bring that over into my sheet and add that as a negative. We can also kind of go up to this top, and I've already filtered out used and insulating because those are keywords that are not really relevant to high intent. So I'm also going to add in estimator. It is a bit more intent based there, which is good, but it's just not as close as to where I would like it to be. Now, when we open this up, there's two options. There's text match, and then there's semantic match. When you are doing keyword filters, the text match is literally like used. Anything that contains the word used will not be shown because I've got the filter on for does not contain. Then there's also semantic match, which is basically the meaning or the intent behind the keyword. Google ended up changing everything from text match over to semantic match. And that's where a lot of people are really struggling to figure out how to run their Google Ads campaigns. Because when you use this commercial poll building as a keyword, you will no longer just show up for the search term commercial poll building. It will start to show up for poll building price and things like that. Now, there are ways to get around it to where you only show up for commercial poll building when you have that as an exact match and probably maximize clicks. You can use a Google Ads script that I created to automate negatives. So you only show up for commercial poll building. It's a really easy script to use, really easy install. You would basically add this to the Google Sheet and let the script run hourly, daily, or weekly, or monthly, and it would automatically exclude any keyword that is not this. And so that would be a way to kind of get back to exact match again based off of the keyword change that Google has done. Or you can start to leverage automated bidding strategies like maximize conversions or maximize conversions value. If you're doing lead gen, I would really recommend you start with maximize conversions, but also you want to make sure that you have 15 to 30 conversions per month before using that particular bidding strategy. Okay, so I think that there's a lot of good stuff here. Pole barn kits near me, steel pole barn. All right, let's look at this keyword here. And I'm looking here at Google and I can see that there's several ads here on the listings, which is great. Yeah, I think that this would work great for us to show up here. The only thing is there seems to be about 1,000 searches when it comes to this particular search. Yes, Midwest steel pole barns. That's okay. Yeah. Pole barn sheet metal. That's probably not going to be what I particularly want to show up for. So I'm going to exclude that on these filters. So yeah, you would want to go through the rest of this and start to determine which keywords you want to show up for. So I'm going to take this out. Okay, there's another feature within Google Ads Keyword Planner where you can leverage starting to use the group view. So kind of more so by theme versus by the keywords. And then you can start to go through all of these different segments. And this is a great way to kind of look at, okay, we've got Amish pole barn builders near me. So this is particularly looking for Amish creators. So let's search for this on Google. And yeah, I think that it might be okay to show up for this and kind of start to see if we get some good results from this. And so I'm going to add these, and you can kind of add these all by the keyword theme. And so this is kind of a cool way to go about this. Now, when it comes to choosing broad, phrase, or exact match, you really need to start thinking about what type of bidding strategy you need to use and want to use. Now, there's the old way of bidding, which is more manual. And now there's also the new way of bidding, which is smart bidding. And the old way is using manual CPC or maximize clicks. Manual CPC, you choose what bid you want to use in the auction, And then maximize clicks is more so, I want to get as many clicks as I possibly can for the budget that I have. It typically starts up high and then it starts to go down low. So you can start to kind of look at these keywords and start to see top of page bid, low range, and top of page bid, high range. Now, the one problem with this is that this is not 100% accurate. Typically, it's either going to be higher or even lower, but probably more so higher than what we're seeing here. And so you need to kind of calculate also your monthly budget with the average CPCs that you're seeing for the keywords that you want to show up for. So if you've got a $50 CPC, then a $1,000 budget is really not going to get you all that far. So make sure that you kind of consider those things. Now, when it comes to automated bidding, for lead generation, I would start with maximize conversions, but make sure that your conversion tracking is super, super solid and that you have that completely configured properly so that you have good results. If Google doesn't know where to shoot, then it's going to go all over the place and you're not going to get good results. So if you don't have conversion tracking in place, which honestly, a lot of my clients don't, because either they don't have access to their website or they just have a configuration where they are unable to install conversion tracking. And so there's situations where manual bidding is going to be a better option. So using manual CPC or maximize clicks. If you don't want to manage the bids, start with maximize clicks on exact match. If you want to use smart bidding, then I would recommend you use broad match. Now, a lot of people are going to say, no, don't use broad match. It doesn't work, but it actually really does. Make sure you think about the most high intent keywords that you can put into your campaigns. Don't put 1,000 keywords in there. Put about 3 to 5 keywords in a single ad group, which leads me to my next point. How do you structure your campaigns? So if you've decided to do manual bidding with exact match, that because there's issues with conversion tracking or you don't have the volume of conversions that you need, then I would recommend doing manual CPC or maximize clicks with exact match and then setting the bids and then adjusting the bids accordingly. So, and then kind of keeping on top of your search terms and making sure that you show up for what you want to show up for. Now, if you're wanting to use smart bidding, that's where I recommend you use maximize conversion to value, TCPA, or TROAS. And I would start with maximize conversions if it's a new account or a very low TROAS on an e-commerce campaign. So those are some really good considerations. And if you're using automated bidding strategies, you'll want to leverage single theme ad groups, which will be keywords within one ad group, 3 to 5, that have the same theme. Now, here's the problem with single theme ad groups and adding in about 5, 6, 10, 20 when you're using automated bidding. Google's going to leverage only one of those ad groups. It's going to take a while for it to learn. And so I typically recommend one campaign, one ad group, 3 to 5 keywords. And so make sure that if you've got a small budget and you're using smart bidding, that you kind of keep everything consolidated as much as possible. Now, when it comes to negatives with smart bidding, I recommend that you set up cadences with which you're going to add in your negatives. Don't add in negatives every single day. You will kill your campaigns. They will never be able to optimize. It's going to take a really long time. Now, if you're using manual CPC and maximize clicks, then I would recommend adding as many as possible. Do it hourly, do it daily. Use my Google Ads keyword script to negative out anything that is not relevant. Because remember, maximize clicks, manual CPC, it does not care if you get a conversion. It's all about the intent. It's all about the user. And it's all about getting the click. Automated bidding, maximize conversions, TCPA, TROAS, maximize conversion to value. These bidding strategies is all about the conversion and it's less about these keywords. And so you have to kind of start thinking about keyword research in this way. I'm trying to filter this by the highest average monthly searches just so I can see what ends up having the most amount of searches. So pole barn contractors near me, that's going to be very high intent. That's going to be a solid keyword. And I think that that's going to work very well. Now, the CPC is at $5.33, which is okay. The competition is relatively high. If I put it into Google, this is going to work out very well because we would be a very good fit for this search. So in this case scenario, because I'm planning on doing maximized clicks with very heavy exclusions, I'm going to utilize the highest average monthly searches and start to think about the most high intent keywords. So pole barn contractors near me. That is very long tail, but it's got great amount of average monthly searches. Then I've got these keywords: cost of pole barn garage, cost to build a pole barn house. So there's a ton of really good searches. Now, we're typically going after commercials, so this is a good opportunity for me to exclude house and home. So this is good. And then pole barn builders near me, pole barn contractors near me. And once you have all of your keywords in place, then you can take them, you can add them to your keywords plan, and then you can add them to your campaign. And if you want to figure out how to launch your campaign successfully, make sure you check out this video so that you can see and leverage ultimately how to set up a campaign properly in 2024. I appreciate that you watched this. Now, a lot of people are saying use these other tools, use SEMrush and SpyFu and figure out what your competitors are doing. But the thing is, even with AI, even with all of these things that are out there kind of fighting with Google when it comes to search, it's all about the intent. It's all about who's searching, why they're searching, and showing up at the right places at the right time. And so if you can nail these two fundamental things of what would these folks be searching for when they're typing into Google in order to find my products and services, and would my ad fit within this placement. Once you have those two figured out, you're going to be golden and you're going to see a lot of success within Google Ads. Drop a comment below. Let me know if you need any help, if you have any questions. Also, let me know if you're interested in this Google Ads keyword automated script that I have in order to really make exact match and go after the only high intent keywords that you have. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.